Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Real Positive Girl podcast with me, Sabrina. This is the show that's going to help you become your best self. And today we are going to be talking about how today can be a new day for you and how we should not let yesterday hold us back. But before we jump into that topic, I do want to invite you over to my Instagram. I am at Sabrina Joy Perozzo. I would love to hear from you. I would love to get a DM from you, a message, become friends online. Or if you'd rather send me an email, that information is also listed in the show notes below. And you can just say hi, or you can give feedback or suggestions on what I should talk about, or anything and everything. But I would love to hear from you. So thank you so much in advance for reaching out and also downloading and sharing the show and listening, because you guys are all amazing. But again, today we were talking about how today can be a new day and we shouldn't let yesterday hold us back. I think I talk about this topic of accepting and understanding that every single day can be a new day a lot, because it's really hard to believe. It's really hard for us to actually believe the concept of new days can come upon us whenever we want. You know, it's hard to believe this when you are in a really hard season of life as well. You know, when you are really getting pushed to the brink and you are really being pushed in the direction that you don't want to go, it's so hard. And it's really hard to accept when life doesn't feel like it's getting better or easier or anything. Nothing is going towards what you would believe and see as the positive. And it's really difficult to leave behind, the hurts, the pains, the betrayal, the loneliness, the love, the confusion, all of these things that we tend to spend a lot of time thinking about, considering, obsessing about, wondering how we could have done this, that, and the other for it to go into a different direction. It can be really, really hard for us just to automatically be like, oh, wait, no, today can be better than yesterday, especially when the past 7, 14, 21, 28 days, however many days, months, years have been really rough, have not been what we would consider the best days of our lives, or even the best mediocre days of our lives. You know what I mean? And, it's personally for me, it's really tough for me to leave behind emotions that haven't fully been figured out, like trying to understand why this person doesn't like me or love me, or why they hate me, or why this relationship is the way that it is. Or even the things that didn't go my way, or exactly the way that I wanted them to go, or even why I couldn't figure something out about my life, where I'm like, why is this not working? Or why isn't this, working out when I was told it would work out, when I was told exactly what to do and how to go about it. I had people in my life that I could trust. It worked for them. It worked for many people before them, but it didn't work for me. And it could be really frustrating. And I think that's another reason why we seek to understand. So we spend a lot of time trying to figure out why something didn't work, or why we're in pain, or why life is so hard, that we forget that right here in the present, there is so much to be gained still. But, to be honest, these things are all things that don't need to be our concern. And I know you're probably thinking, how could that be true, Sabrina? Because these are all things that you're worrying about and I'm worrying about, and they really affect our lives and they make a big impact. They do, for sure. But they definitely don't need to be our concern, because, we can't change the past. And the future isn't in our control either. So the best thing that we can do is learn from everything we go through, good and bad, and move forward to experience what's going to come next. And I understand, if anyone's like me, you deal with control issues. Yes, because you want to control everything that's about to happen or is going to happen. And then when things are not in your control from the past, it can be so frustrating, because you're like, why didn't this work out? Again, going down that path. But you're spending a lot of time thinking about the past or worrying about the future. And it's not really going to help you go anywhere, in our attempts to let go what has happened in the past, it's important to know that allowing ourselves to have a fresh start every single day can be, as cliche as this sounds, it can be life-changing, you know? It can definitely be life-changing depending on how deep our control issues go or how high our anxiety can be. So if we make the conscious decision to have today be a brand new day, better than yesterday and better than last week, then we have the opportunity to really enjoy what is happening in the present. And I do want to mention that a lot of us do not allow room and time and space for the present to be enjoyed because, again, we're so obsessed with why things went the way they were, even good or bad, in the past, and then what we can do to control what is going to happen in the future. But think about how much time and effort you're using on both of those things, past and future, and what you could be missing here in the present. If it has to do with like work, think about the opportunities that you could be running into like right now in your life, as opposed to worrying about the job or the opportunity you missed out on in the past and really ramping yourself up for opportunities in the future. It just isn't a bad thing. Preparing for the future, it's not a bad thing. I'm not assigning that as a negative thing. It's just more of like, we also need to be cognizant of what's happening right now, like right now. Or if it has to do with love and finding that partner in your life, think about the people that you could meet today, as opposed to worrying about what happened in that relationship in the past or feeling like you might be alone forever in the future. Like, who are you talking to today? What relationships are you creating right now and could be creating in days coming, right? Or maybe it has to do with something else. Maybe you feel lost in your life like me, eternally lost. No, I don't think we're eternally lost. I do think that I focus too much on feeling lost in my life and trying to figure it out, for sure. But maybe you feel lost and you're wondering in the past of like, okay, why didn't that work out? Or why did I work so hard for this and that didn't turn out? And then worrying about the future of like feeling like you're never going to figure it out. You're never going to amount to anything. You're never going to, feel so much pride and fullness about what you're doing. But we need to spend a lot of time thinking about right now. What in the present are you working on? What in the present, what opportunities could come before you right now, as opposed to worrying about what didn't happen and what will happen. And again, it's not a bad thing to think about the future and prepare yourself for that, but it's also important to stay grounded and present in what's happening right now so that you can still reap those benefits and enjoy your life and not constantly be caught in this like worry cycle of both those sides and not being right here in the middle. To just let it all soak in and understand that life has ups and downs and lefts and rights for every single person. You may not feel like some people in your life don't have those things. It's probably because they don't share them with you, because every single person has them. And also, something important to note is that you might consider someone else's ups and downs positive, and they consider their ups and downs negative, or vice versa. We all experience things differently. We all take things in differently, and we're all going through different seasons of life. So something that you consider to be so amazing and to be grateful for and that you would love and that you're out there coveting, someone else might consider that as terrible or not enough or not what they wanted or expecting, because maybe they have issues with being grateful, or that's not what they planned, or that's not what they wanted, right? Or vice versa. Someone might be really happy with what they got, and you're like, wow, how could you be happy with that? That's terrible. So we also need to be careful what we're comparing ourselves to, what we're wanting, what we're coveting from other people, because you just don't know the whole story. But it's important that we do understand that by allowing ourselves to have every single day be a fresh new start, a fresh new day, we are living in the present and really soaking up everything that we might be ignoring because we're so focused on the past and the future. So today can be a new day for you. That is the main message I want to get across here. But today can be a new day if you let it. If you let it be. You can't just expect some magic to happen that will force you to have a good day. You have to make the cognitive choice to allow the day to be a new day. And also not allow your baggage from the previous day or days to drag you down into the following days. And understand that by allowing yourself to have a fresh start, you will be stronger than you were before. You will have the opportunity to have a new perspective on this new day today, and even the ones from before in the past. And you are not allowing the past to cloud your vision for the future. And you are not allowing what happened yesterday to get in the way of today. And I know those phrases might sound cliche. I did make them up. But they're very inspirational, exciting. Something that you'd probably read in an affirmation that I may make years from now. But, and I mean affirmation, I mean like an affirmation book or something like that. But it's true, You have to make the cognitive choice to make today a new day. And if you don't, then that's on you, right? You can't just be like, okay, well, I was expecting that new day to come and it didn't come, and everything from yesterday is still in today, or everything from last week is still in this week. You have to choose. You have to say, hey, okay, today's going to be a new day. Yesterday sucked, and I'm worried about what's going to happen tomorrow with this, that, and the other, but today can be a new day. Today can be its own day. It doesn't have to have any sort of reflection on what happened yesterday and what's going to happen tomorrow. It can just be its own day, and I can enjoy this day. And even if this is the only day this week that I enjoy, I'm still going to enjoy it, and I'm still going to revel in it, and I'm still going to be grateful for it, because if it does turn out that this is the only day that I enjoyed out of this whole week, then it was worth it. Or maybe today it'll be a great day because I decided it was a new day. Tomorrow I'll decide that's a new day, another great day, and so on and so forth. Maybe deciding that every single day can be a brand new day, autonomous of itself, will just continue to build on great days. I'm not going to say that'll always happen, that we all have bad days. We all have tough days. But by understanding that you can just make that decision, that today is a new day, or tomorrow will be a new day, because today sucked, it will help. It will help you not bring all of that baggage into your current day, and hopefully not allow you to worry so much about what's going to happen tomorrow. So you will be stronger for it, and it'll set you up with have a new, wider, different perspective on what may have happened to you or what's going to happen. And it'll be amazing. So before I close this out, here are a couple tips to start each day as a new day without letting yesterday get in the way. I only have 4 quick tips. So the first one is to evaluate your day at the end of that day and not the next day. So let's say that today you're having a really tough day, or a good day, or a mediocre day, or whatever day. At the end of today, take that time to evaluate what happened today, as opposed to deciding tomorrow morning, okay, let's evaluate what happened yesterday. Because by evaluating everything that happened yesterday, today, you are dragging that into today. You're allowing it to just follow you in, to be with you, to be your best friend, be your best buddy, to think over it, to worry about it, to criticize it, to tear it to pieces. No, do that the night at the end of your night. Really evaluate what happened, what could happen differently next time, this, that, and the other. How did it make me feel? How can we change this? Or how great was this? Or how amazing? Or how can we do this again? But try to evaluate your day at the end of that day so that you don't drag it into the next day. The second tip is to commit to understanding that lessons need to be learned from past experiences to serve you better in the future. This is something I talk about all the time. All the time. It is important that, when you fail, when you make mistakes, when there are problems in your life and things don't go the way that you want them to go, you will glean as much information as you can from those experiences and carry it with you into the future. so that your life is better. And I think that by making the decision that every day is a new day, you also need to commit to understanding that you do need to take the lessons that you learned in past days into these new days so that you can either prevent those negative things from happening again, continue to have those things reinforce you becoming stronger every single day, or things to help push you to go further every single day. So I want you to commit to understanding that those lessons need to be learned. They need to be committed to memory. And you need to not just throw them back in the fire. You need to take them with you because they will serve you so much more in the future. The third one is to decide who you want to be today and commit to those attributes. So if you wake up in the morning and you're like, today, I want to be a positive person. And let's say that you maybe, you're not used to that. That's not your normal thing. But just think about okay, well, what would a positive person do? And don't go extreme. Really just be level-headed about it. Be like, okay, well, a positive person would probably implement some sort of gratitude ritual. So let me think about 3 things, 4 things, 5 things that I'm grateful for. A positive person would not let someone else's bad attitude dictate how my attitude's going to be. A positive person would try to find the best in the day and not focus so much on the worst. So when you get up in the morning of that new day, decide who you want to be and commit to those attributes. So think about how that person would be and try your best to do that. And I'm not saying you have to do it perfectly. And again, don't have your expectations sky high. Just really be, even keel about it and be like, I want to be someone that really focuses on gratitude. I want to be a positive person. I want to be a very dedicated mother, person to my job. I want to be an organized person. I want to be a calm person and not an angry person. I want to be someone that doesn't let anxiety spiral out of control. Just decide who you want to be and try your best to be that person. If you know who you want to be and you don't know what attributes or how that person would act, use Google. Type it in. What would a positive person do? What would a less anxious person do? What would a dedicated mother do? What would an organized person do? What would an executive person do? Whatever it is. Use the internet to help you and then commit to that for that day. The last one is number 4, which is to understand that you can't enjoy today if you're so worried about yesterday and tomorrow. This is just a quick reminder that you can't fully enjoy today if you are continuing to brood over what happened yesterday and what could happen tomorrow. Because what's going to happen tomorrow is going to happen tomorrow, and there's really no control we can have over it. We have very little control. We have way less than we think we do. That's a really big statement coming from someone that has control issues, is a control freak. Yes, I understand. But it's true. It's true. And worrying about yesterday, you can't change the past. No one can change the past. Probably God, but other than that, God and Jesus, yeah, they got that on lock. Don't think they're going to. But we can't. And that's that, right? Just for reference, God and Jesus are going to do what they're going to do. They could do whatever they want. I'm just saying, us as humans, we can't change the past. And we need to understand that and accept that. And yes, I do talk about gleaning information from those experiences, but there's only so much gleaning you can do. There's only so much, lessons you can pull from what happened in the past before you're really just obsessing over what happened and wishing it didn't happen that way and brooding over it and just continuing to feed yourself into a negative spiral. So please understand, you cannot enjoy today if you're so worried about yesterday and tomorrow. And that's all I have to say about that. So today can be a new day for you. Do not let yesterday hold you back. Thank you so much for listening to the Real Positive Girl podcast. Again, with me, Sabrina. I appreciate you listening, downloading, sharing the show. Again, hit me up on Instagram. I'd love to hear from you. Let's be friends, or send me an email. My email address is realpositivegirlpodcast@gmail.com. I will write you back. Maybe a few days delayed, but I will write you back. Or on Instagram. And I'd love to hear any suggestions for things you want me to talk about that could be encouraging or helpful, or just being real and letting us all know what the truth is, especially if we're trying to hide from it. So anyway, thank you so much for listening. You guys are amazing. Until next time, have a good one, and I will see you next time. Bye, friends.